Hi and welcome to MFL Outdoors. I'm in the field today and I had a thought that I would share with you, and that's to do with first aid. A first aid kit. I know it's something boring that people don't really want to think about, but you never know when something could happen. And this kit that I have is more of a trauma kit. Obviously, if you, like myself, if you're a lone worker, gamekeeper, pest controller, forester, farmer even, and you're out and you're especially if you're on your own, these can be life-saving. I would emphasize that you get training. CA First Aid did my training and they were absolutely excellent. I've used them for 4 years now, and what I'll do is I'll leave a link below and you can have a look at theirs. Obviously around the country there are other trainers, but that's the one I used. So I made this pack up myself. I did it because I wanted something that I could put in the truck and I could also quite easily put on if I'm out in the field and take with me. It does look heavy, it is quite light. I'll start with the middle pack and then I'll go to the two outer ones, and I'll let you know sort of what I carry in here. So we'll have a look first. This is a HyperGuard pocket face mask. If you're giving CPR, it's a good idea to carry something like this. Obviously if you're on your own you don't need to carry something like this and you're not going to be with anybody else, but it has a filter in it. It helps protect you as well while you're giving CPR. I shall now go, I haven't got, oh yes I have, I'll just tell you what I have in there. I have a tick remover and a whistle, and in here I have a spot thermometer. It's very light and it's very handy, you know, if you have to check if someone's temperature. So let's get that. I'm having to batten all these hatches down on here because I don't know if you're picking up, or the microphone's picking up the wind, but it is very windy. Okay, so this is a pressure bandage. They're sealed. They're called, most people call them Israeli bandages. They have a sort of plastic handle on them, so when you get them in you can turn them and you can apply pressure, and then you can actually wrap the bandage around and hold that pressure on for any wounds, any bleeds that you're trying to stop. Now this is why you need training. A tourniquet. I would not advise using one unless you've had training, because you could do more harm than good. I would also advise getting a good quality one, BS standard, from a medical supplier and not from somewhere like Amazon or eBay. This one, you see, has a metal shaft here, which is what you actually turn to apply the pressure and then lock into place to stop the bleed. Now the cheaper ones, they have a plastic bar across here, and from what I've been told by my trainer was that these bars are breaking. Not good if you're needing to stop a bleed. So definitely a good thing to have. When you've had the training, get a good quality one with a metal bar. So that's that. The next thing is Celox. It's a powder that clots or helps clotting. So again, if you had a bullet wound or a bleed that you couldn't stop, absolutely excellent stuff. You've all seen the war films where they put the powder in the wound. This is like a much more modern version, but it is quite expensive. You're not going to use it very often, hopefully, or not at all. And I have, if you can see, I have vacuum sealed these to help keep them waterproof. I did that at home. I just vacuum sealed them and then I put it in the pack, and it's just in case the pack gets wet, then I can keep that waterproof. The next thing I have is, let's have a look here, we've got some paracetamol, again vacuum sealed, and here's ibuprofen, aspirin, Or another good thing to have, just in case you're out on the hills or anything like that and someone starts having any sort of heart problems. And let's have a look on some anti-diarrhea tablets. Again, they're all sealed to keep them waterproof. I do keep a small section of plaster, but as I said, this is more a trauma kit, not like a family domestic first aid kit. If you've got a small cut on your finger or something like that, you're not going to die from it. You can sort that out when you get back to your vehicle or back home. So I think that's it for that section. So I'll zip that up and then let's have a look in here. Okay, again here we have, these are cleaning wipes. These are sterile moist cleaning wipes, so if you want to clean out any wound. And this is also something is a must to carry, eye wash. I've had incidents where stuff's gone in my eyes and I haven't had anything to clean it out, and it can be very uncomfortable. Highly recommend that in your kit. You never know when something's going to happen, and if you get something in your eye, it's so easy to be able to wash it out with that. I'll just leave that there for a minute actually. Emergency blanket. I carry a couple of these. In fact, I carry them in all my packs, simply because if someone goes into shock, it's amazing how quickly their temperature goes down. They'll sweat. This is excellent. It's very light, very easy to carry, and again will help keep them warm. I say I carry a couple of those. And that's that for that section. So we're going to the last one here. Again, these are the smaller Israeli bandages. They allow you again to apply pressure to any wound, and I keep a couple of them in here, and that's it. That's all I have in there. As I say, it's more of a trauma kit. You can sort of modify it to what works for you in your line of work, but they're some of the essentials that I would definitely recommend carrying. But I can't stress enough, get some training, get your emergency first aid at work with forestry. Most deer stalkers have it. I know now, I think it's National Trust and that, or the Forestry Commission will only allow deer stalkers on if they have that. Again, I use CA first aid. They were great with me, but there are many across the country. I hope this has been of help to you. So it was just a quick video just to let you know the sort of kit I carry. It's very light. You can keep it in the vehicle. The reason that I made the kit up to carry away was when I was getting my training, or the second time I was getting my training, I was speaking to the instructor and he said, do you leave your vehicle at night? I said, yes. He said, and how far do you go from your vehicle? I said, well, it depends. You know, I could be walking 2 miles away from my vehicle. And he said to me, and where do you keep your first aid kit? And I said, well, in the truck. And he said, so what happens if you have a serious accident where you have a bleed from an artery? How are you going to stem that bleed? He says, because you've got between a minute and 5 minutes, depending on the artery, before you're going to go unconscious. And that sort of got me thinking. I thought, yeah, he's right. You need to carry the kit with you when you're not with your vehicle. So again, I hope that's been of help and given you something to think about. If you've got any other questions, please drop them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them for you, and I look forward to seeing you soon.